Well, good morning and happy Thursday, Holiday Hill family. Josh here, back in the youth room for Throwback Thursday. And today's Throwback Thursday is the story of a guy named Bob Kane. Comic book fans should know Bob Kane very well. He was one of the two men responsible, in conjunction with a guy by the name of Bill Finger, in creating a new superhero hot off the idea of Superman. They wanted to combine Zorro with Da Vinci's bat wing flying contraption and create this new hero that they ultimately ended up calling the Batman. And from that moment on, Bob Kane's one idea took off and created a franchise like no other. In DC Comics, Batman to this day, right now, is one of the best-selling superheroes of all time. But I tell you the story of Bob Kane to tell you this. One of Bob Kane's best friends was Marvel editor-in-chief Stan Lee, the guy responsible for the Hulk, the Fantastic Four, the X-Men, and Spider-Man. They were friends, lifelong friends for decades. They would go out to dinner often. Stan Lee would talk about how Bob Kane was way funnier than he was, and how they would go into a restaurant and Bob Kane would tell the waiter, "Do you know who I am? I'm Bob Kane. I created Batman." And Stan Lee would just cringe under the table because that was just his personality. Bob Kane and Stan Lee made a wager way back when, and that wager was between, my Batman and your Spider-Man, who do you think is going to have a movie first? And they took that wager. Bob Kane won with Tim Burton's Batman in the year 1989. Stan and Bob went to the premiere together. Bob actually had a little nod-like cameo in one of the opening scenes where there was an artist who's supposed to be drawing what the Batman looks like. It's a bat in a tuxedo. If you look at the signature, it's Bob Kane's signature on the picture. And Bob looked at Stan Lee and said, "You know what? It's really cool to see Batman. We'll probably never see Spider-Man. Sorry for the loss of that wager. But, Batman's where it's at. And Spider-Man, who's going to want to watch a movie about Spider-Man?" Bob Kane passed away in 1998. Stan Lee, by his own admission, said one of the greatest tragedies of the Spider-Man movie franchise and the Marvel franchise and took off. He said for him the saddest part was Bob wasn't around to see it himself and celebrate with his friend. I think that's our lesson for today, guys. Many a times in life, we think this world is going to close up shop when we're done. Bob Kane's life ended in 1998. Spoiler alert, we're not in 1998 anymore. The world moved on. The sun rose again the next day. Sometimes our vision is limited. Sometimes we see only to what our end or the end of our story may be. Never stopping to consider that the story goes on after us. And sometimes the story that goes on after us is big. It's amazing. It's important. And we need to think about those things. Focus on what happens for the after. Who are the people you need to invest in who more than likely will be here after you're gone? Who are the people you need to love? What are the things you need to invest in today that will go beyond you? Bob Kane wasn't known for his cameos, although Bob Kane had a cameo before Stan Lee. Stan Lee was the king of the Marvel cameos. Bob Kane never saw it. He never saw the Marvel Cinematic Universe. He never saw the Scourge of Thanos and the Snap and Infinity War. Never saw any of those things. They happened after him. We may not be able to predict the future and figure out what's going to happen after us, but make no mistake about it, an after will happen. What are we doing in preparation for that after? Take care, and God bless.